survive today. Dawkins writes in detail the way in which cultural traits and patterns evolve and become the norm by describing them as memes. Nevertheless, I am yet to be convinced by any claims that are postulated as miracles in the Quran. However, for argument's sake, let's say the Quran did predict things in advance that it could not possibly have known at the time. There are also many other historical figures who claim to have done so. Does that also make them prophets of God if they claim they were? Were scientists such as Epicurus divinely inspired? The best example is a famous Latin poem summarizing Epicurean philosophy, 341 BC to 270 BC, some 1000 years earlier, which in my opinion far outdoes the Quran in both clarity and quantity of marvelous scientific predictions. Here are some of these amazing facts, but the list continues. 1. The existence of the atom and the molecule, the binding of two atoms to produce a different chemical. 2. Earthquakes are caused by slipping fault lines, etc. Should anyone say divine intervention helped explain these findings in 300 BC? Was Epicurus inspired by God? I would say a firm no. He just got lucky. He knew nothing of wave mechanics, the Compton radius, or Heisenberg's uncertainty principle. He was simply trying to solve what he saw by drawing largely on empirical observation. So too the prophet was simply trying to state what was obvious to him, that God is the one who made the earth and the heavens so vast. This is quite probable, since Muhammad demonstrated he knew nothing about the difference between stars and galaxies, for example, and only the latter are expanding away from each other. The stars within our galaxy, which comprise by far most of what Muhammad would have imagined as the visible heavens, are not expanding, but are held in place by gravity. Just imagine the lost opportunity here. Allah could have given Muhammad the most incredible proof of scientific prescience by having him describe the difference between star systems and galaxies, or even stating Hubble's law of expansion, perhaps with exact figures, at least the added point that rate of expansion is accelerating. But no, all he gave him was the incredibly vague Surah 51, 47 to 49, we are the ones who make it vast. There is nothing scientific about that. Then of course, claims that have since been proved wrong by religions are often swept under the carpet with claims of I do not understand, or we cannot question God, or its mistranslation are made. Although the Quran describes a flat earth, we find Muslims today adamant that the Quran portrays an ostrich egg shaped one. Although this claim is made what I call text massaging. 20 years ago they claimed it said it meant spherical. 1400 years ago they claimed it meant flat. Note the evolving definition of